right now in 2024 with all the uprising on the campuses, with everything going on in Gaza and with the Jews and everything that's going on. As a pastor, I get a lot of questions. Where's this at? Is it in the Bible? Is this end time prophecy? I'm not a prophetic type preacher. But my question is this. How do we approach that with everybody watching the news, CNN, Fox, everybody's covering all the chaos that's going on, plus everything that's going on in Israel, all at the same time, and it's bled over here, and you'll hear different people say, well, you got little Satan over there, that's Israel, America's the big Satan, so on and so forth. Yet we have members come to us and they want to know, how do I and where do I stand as far as Israel goes in my Christian faith, and is it overly important for me to take a side in that?
Well, it does say in the scriptures that I will bless those who bless Israel. Amen. Right? But that doesn't mean everything Israel does is true or right. And as Christians, we're not my country right or wrong. We're people that are going to follow the truth. So right now, Israel's in apostasy, as you know. Most people in Israel are not believers. But God does say that we ought to back Israel. But again, there may be occasions where, just like God disciplines us, if we have a friend and that's Israel, we need to discipline them and say, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay? So I think that's really important. But let's back out to the bigger prophetic picture for a second. Everyone in this room is more certain that you're going to die than you're certain as to when Jesus is coming back. It doesn't matter when Jesus is coming back if you're going to die before he comes, does it? You need to get right with Jesus and stop worrying about prophecy, okay? Because whether he comes tomorrow or 10,000 years from now, you are going to be judged on what you do with him. Not whether you can read whether or not Iran is the great Satan, or when the war is going to start, or who the Antichrist is. Your salvation and my salvation is dependent on whether or not we say, I do to Jesus, not whether or not we can figure out the end times. So that would be my concern. Say, get more interested in your relationship with God. That's what Loran was talking about this Sunday here. Everything ought to take a back seat to your relationship with Jesus. And yet we get all excited about what's going on in the news, and we can track all that, but I'm very wary of saying, oh, this means this and this means that. How many times have we been wrong about that? Do you know there was a book in 1988, 88 Reasons Why Christ Will Come in 88? There was. And then the guy wrote 89 Reasons Why Christ Will Come in 89. I'm not making this up. I think God, by the way, has kept it deliberately veiled, just like he did when Christ came the first time. In fact, if you read 1 Corinthians chapter 2, Paul says that these things were veiled because if they weren't, they never would have crucified the Lord of glory. If they knew Jesus was the Messiah, they never would have crucified him. And if we knew, say, Jesus was going to come back in, say, 2035, what would we be doing right now? I got time. I'll do what I want, right? No, he could come at any minute, so you gotta be ready at all times. You know, the parable of the guy that leaves and comes back, and the people there that he left weren't ready. Be ready. Always be ready. But thanks for what you're doing as a pastor.